And a welcome here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. We appreciate you being here with us, hanging out inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. Great Lakes Honda City coming to you on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. And they are open for sales and service Monday through Saturday. Make sure you go and visit them. Let them know that DT sent you their way. And of course, you can also get a sneak peek of all their inventory by going to GreatLakesHondaCity.com. So make sure you do that today. We're up and down the East Coast, the Midwest, the West Coast, and all around the globe on YouTube.com, Facebook.com, both /WakeUpCallDT, and on WakeUpCallDT.podbean.com. So however you're connected with the show, we thank you for being with us all over the world, Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and typically beyond 11 a.m. In today's broadcast, inside of MonPazPopcorn.com's What's Poppin', giving you the list of topics and guests for the day. Shout out to Mon Paz for being the place for all them taste buds you have. The ones in the back, the ones in the front, the ones all over the place. Your taste buds dance when they go to 201 Old 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. Ma and Paz. So good. So make sure you get out there today. They have so many different flavors of kettle corn, popcorn, the premium corn, like the Elvis one, which is the banana flavored popcorn with Reese's peanut butter because Elvis liked peanut butter and banana. So good. So very good. So go and get some of that today. You can get the chocolate dipped pretzels, the chocolate dipped Oreos, the freeze dried candy, which they have a ton of different types, cotton candy, lemonade. So very good. And who doesn't need a snack, right? If you're binge watching a show, need a snack. If you're at a game, need a snack. If you're at the movies, well, you know you're sneaking in a snack because those movie snacks cost like $100. So listen. You say, Dan, are you telling me that I should wear a jacket and put snacks all up and down my sleeves? Yeah. I'm telling you to do it at Mon Paz, 201 Old 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. So make sure you do that. You paid for the food, right? It's not like you didn't pay for it. You paid for it. Put it in your jacket. Walk in there. I do it in the summer. I bring in a sweatshirt. But with all due respect, the movie theaters are cold. So, make sure you get your Mon Paz and bring it wherever you go. Inside of MonPazPopcorn.com's What's Poppin'. List of topics for the day. We got a double dose of the Bobcat Buzz coming to you this morning with both the women's and men's basketball teams starting off their season with a victory. I will be joined by Amani, the women's basketball head coach at Bryant Stratton College of Syracuse, and I will then be joined by Gagen-Sherman, the men's basketball head coach at Bryant Stratton College of Syracuse. So very excited to have them both on the show to discuss their victories that happened to start off their season, both winning their first games of the season. And it's Amani's first ever game as a head coach and win as a head coach happening at the same time. So excited for that. Then we'll jump into an all-new Bearcat Breakroom with Binghamton University, where I will be sharing some time, and I can't wait to do this, sharing this with you, speaking with the wonderful Sydney Leitner of the Binghamton University Bearcats women's cross-country squad. You don't want to miss that heartfelt, very positive conversation, and I'm excited to speak with you, and share with you the unique journey that she has had in the world of sports. And then we'll round out the show as we always do on a Tuesday with the ingredients to success, proudly presented by the wonderful team at Avicolli's. Today's topic is the passion. So, with that being said, I'm more than happy to bring onto the broadcast picture-in-picture for our first piece of the Bobcat Buzz, and that is Miss Amani, who's going to be joining us here in just a moment. And there she is. Look at that. And Amani is with us picture-in-picture for this edition of the Bobcat Buzz, Bryant Stratton College of Syracuse women's basketball head coach starting off the 2025-26 season. First game as a head coach, first win. Man, got that done quick. And they won by almost 100. And that's not me being crazy here. 108-31. A 77 point victory. Apparently, Amani wanted to let everybody know she's in the gym. So, with that being said, Miss Free, to you and your team, congratulations and good morning.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning.
And happy to have you here, and happy to have. I think we have a little mic problem going on for a second, so let's
Oh,
let's go ahead and correct that. There we go. So happy to have you here this morning, and happy to be with you. And I guess just go into that first game and that first opportunity that you had being on the road, and first time being a head coach in an actual game.
I think the journey was just like any preparation, you scout the team, you prepare, and you trust and believe what you've instilled in the girls and their skills overall. I think it's just a blessing to have this opportunity and just very grateful to have these ladies and the staff that I have.
Yeah, we're speaking here once again with Amani Free on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. We appreciate you being here with us up and down the East Coast, the Midwest, the West Coast, and all around the globe as we have this conversation about the first ever season for Amani as a head coach. So it's got to be somewhat surreal, I would imagine, for you because you've had many seasons as a student athlete, but you've never had a season as a head coach. So bring me into just what that dynamic was like, and how that experience really felt for you when you stepped out onto the court just a few days ago.
Yeah, definitely the best word to describe it was surreal, but it also felt like I was back home again. I definitely enjoy being like part of the game and feeling like I was back on the court myself and watching the girls just excel and have fun and enjoy themselves, being able to express themselves through the game. It just brings a passion and joy to my heart that I've always enjoyed as a student athlete as well.
When you came in, it was kind of the 11th hour in a way. And so putting, this team together and making sure that you had enough people to comprise the team and get everybody set and ready to go. I mean, for you to see them excel, to see them have fun, to see the success that they can have immediately right off the bat, what do you think it said to the women on this team that, they go through all this adversity before the season and then they come out and strike the way that they did? How did you see them kind of experience it, and what does it say about your team?
I definitely saw a boost in confidence and self confidence. That's something we've all been trying to work on overall as a team. Just trusting not only as a team, but in ourselves that we are great athletes, we are great individuals, and that our game is where it needs to be and will develop even further. And watching the girls do that and realizing that themselves, you can see the glow on their face, the pride in themselves, and the confidence just start radiating from them. And that, as a coach, overall, just makes me so happy. And it means that I'm doing my job as a coach overall, that I'm providing a positive influence into these young women's lives.
Yeah, and for you and their belief, right, in your message, your vision, your mission, how have you seen that come together? I mean, I had the opportunity to be at one of your practices and get to see you run a practice and get to see how they've experienced the practice. Also got to see you enjoy having them run a little bit too much. So, but they got to make they said the same, they said it to me. Multiple student athletes came over, they said, "Hey, we got to make our free throws. We don't make our free throws, we got to run." So,
Mm-hmm.
but going through the practice and seeing them just try to figure things out and work through things and whatnot, to then seeing the actual product on the court. What has that experience been like for you? Because obviously, as a coach, you're challenging yourself to have the right drills, the right message, the right things you're doing in practice when it comes to conditioning and whatnot to make sure they're ready. And then you actually get to see it on the floor against somebody else. So, what's that journey been like?
I think that journey's just overall been a learning and growing process. I think life is all about you make mistakes, you learn from it, and you grow and develop. And I think that's what I'm also just doing as a coach. It is my first year. I know that I will make mistakes, and I just got to realize I have to learn from it, grow, and change myself. Um, the ladies also know that, and that's something we've always talked about. That this game overall is just a learning and growing process. We will forever be developing and learning something new.
And these women are awesome, and they
Indeed.
they have a lot of heart, they have a lot of
Yes.
passion, They have a lot of drive, and to me, I love seeing them. I mean, I walk in the gym and you just see, yo, what's up? There's just that love.
Mhm.
Immediately they look, they see your eyes, they're like, yo, what's up? How you doing? Good to see you again. And they give you a hug and they spend some time talking with you and all that. I mean, you have some very beautiful souls on this team. What is it like
Yes.
coaching them and just the type of people you have?
It's really just truly a blessing to God because each and every one of these girls have a wonderful, amazing personality. Each have their own special little quirks and jokes that they throw, and it just brings a nice family environment to the team. And that's something I've wanted to instill in this at program, and just really have everything feel like a family environment because that's something important to me. If you're going to be a part of the team, you got to know that this is your sisterhood. You're going to be a part of each other's lives on and off the court, so you got to be able to love one another.
Yeah, and that love and that appreciation, you and I talk a lot about faith and about things that go far beyond a sport and far beyond a basketball bouncing. To have the faith that you have had through your life and to see how God has worked through you, with you, around you. I mean, what do you want to say to God now that we have this first moment, we have this first game, we have this first win? What do you say to God?
All I can give him is just gratitude and ask what more can I do because it just feels like the more he instills in me, the more I can spread throughout the world. It's just a blessing in itself.
Amani Free here with us this morning. Amani, this is totally has nothing to do with basketball, but I have to say this because it's been my annoying moment of the week for many weeks now. The traffic in Syracuse and Central New York is terrible. So, how did you experience traffic this morning? How fun was it for you? And how many minutes does it take to get to where you need to go? Because from my perspective, I'm like, this place takes 22 minutes. But in order for me to get there on time now, I got to give myself about at least 45 minutes.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. It just backed me up a little bit, but I know it's all in for the growth and development of the city. I know Micron's about to help boost a bunch of employment here in Syracuse, so I'm excited for that and really seeing the city grow and develop.
Such a nice answer than when I get on the show and do the annoying moment and then freak out about everything that's going on out here. So I believe one of your players in that first game scored more points than the entire team that you went up against. That is insane. Did you I mean, I don't think anybody can anticipate this, so let me not say it, but like 108 to 31. I mean, I know I talked about it going in, but I looked at it and I was like, I said that can't be. And then but I know Bryant Stratton's done it before. Like I know that there's been moments where Bryant Stratton's put it on. And I looked at that score and I thought to myself, wow. I mean, that's a lot. I know you love Kobe, but I mean, you had a whole lot of Kobe's on the team that day. So, I mean, bring me into that because they shared the ball. There was a bunch of players that obviously got involved. There was a lot of great. I mean, I was looking at statistics, going, "Oh, well, that's a good day. Oh, that's a good." I mean, how do you pick a player of the game for a game like that? But like I said, I think Lanesia Drain. I think she had more points than the entire team. But I mean, just bring me into it.
I think that just comes with practice and what you instill overall. I think sharing the ball was something I instilled a lot from the beginning that we need to share and move the ball around. That creates the best open shot for everyone. So once everyone gets touching and moving the ball, it's easy to get a nice open look on the court. Um, it's amazing that Lanisha Green just put in that work that night. She finished a lot through contact. We saw her in the post. She did a great job sealing in the paint and getting those wide open looks for easy buckets. It was just a blessing overall watching them have that chemistry that we were trying to work on.
So, I mean, when you reflect on it before we have Clay come on here this morning, what thoughts and feelings over these last couple days have gone through you? I know you talked about being grateful to God. When you sit with this and you think about it, I mean, you're a head coach, it's real, you're doing all the paperwork, you're doing all these things in the background, then you actually get to go out there and coach a game. What did you see in yourself? What did you see in the experience? I mean, has it hit you yet that it happened? Has it hit you yet that, that win already came through? I mean, there's a lot of things that happen just within a couple hours of a game. So have you had that moment to take that breath and experience what this is right now?
I don't think so just yet. I feel like I have and I haven't, or it's like, yes, I realize this is my moment and we did that and we've accomplished, but I still have that Kobe mindset. The job's not finished.
Yeah.
We still have a whole season to go. I know the girls are still growing and developing, and I can't wait to see their peak potential just shine. And overall, just I'm excited to see the season. I'm just excited to see the girls and development. It's going to be a surreal moment.
How would you describe if somebody didn't see this Bobcats team yet? If they weren't in practice, if they weren't in a game, if they haven't been around this team, how would you describe what you have in these young women that are working the way that they're working?
I'd say we're a diverse family with a goal and intent that we are trying to achieve, and we're willing to do anything for it.
And I know when she sees this, if she's watching it live or she sees it back, I hope you appreciate it. But Maggie Butta, we've been waiting a long time for Maggie to get on that floor again, and she went out and she had some fun. Can we give some love to Maggie and her return and just what your thoughts were?
Yes.
I mean, this young woman has been through a lot, and she has pushed,
Yes.
and she whatever she's been through, injury, not being on the floor. You see her around campus. She's always got her spirits up. She did a rap battle at one of the events that I was at. I mean, Maggie is in it to win it always. So what was it like to see her return to the floor?
It was wonderful seeing my returning senior get back on the floor. I know she was probably excited and just ecstatic to be able to dominate girls again. It's just a blessing to be able to see her shine in her element and be able to coach that as well. I think it's a great connection and bond that we have on and off the court, and I'm excited to see where it goes further.
Well, Amani, you get the final word here before we bring on Clay. Just, your take as you step forward. You've had positive moments and immediately had a little bit of adversity. So what did you learn from the balance of both being together with a game that was right after? That was a very close, hard-fought game that ended up being a loss on the side of the Bobcats. So, you got to experience, okay, this is us not winning. This is us winning. We felt it within 48 hours. So just what that dynamic was like and what you took away.
Definitely, again, comes back to that learning and growing and development, We realized that second half energy was the energy we should have came out from the start. And we realized that we can't continually do that throughout the season. So it's just changes that we need to make and progress that we're going to make.
That coming from Amani Free here with us this morning. Appreciate you so much, Amani. Happy that we had some time. Congratulations on your first win in your first game. Congratulations to the Lady Bobcats who put that work in and had some fun with it. And if you knew them like I know them and around them like I'm around them, you would be a lot like there's like the happy meter. And then when you see these women win, it's just different. It just feels different because they're good people. So shout out to the Bobcats women's basketball program for starting off the season with a giant victory. And, I'm just excited to see what's going to happen. We got a long season.
That we do. And a great season.
So, Amani Free, head coach, Bryant Stratton, Syracuse women's basketball. And thank you, Amani, for everything. I'll look forward to talking with you soon.
Thank you for having me. Look forward to talking to you again.
Okay, sounds good. That coming from Miss Free here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets life. We're going to jump right into having Clay on, the men's basketball head coach. And we have the opportunity of having him here with us. Clay has spent many, many years with us. He started the women's basketball program at Bryant Stratton College of Syracuse, and then he came into the men's basketball program. So first ever women's basketball head coach at Bryant Stratton College of Syracuse. And then as we saw Danny Frisina move on, we saw Clay go over onto the men's basketball side, and he's done great work with both the women's and the men's basketball teams. I cannot say enough about Clay as he is here with us. He's going to be coming in to the queue in just a second, and always happy to have Clay Gagen-Sherman here with us. So we got some we're echoing here with you, Clay. So were you listening? Yeah.
I was listening. Yeah, it's echoing a little bit now, but
yes.
I think we're good.
Yeah, I think. All right, I'm still coming up here. So I think it's because you're listening and you're on Zoom.
Let me see.
Yeah. So we got Clay.
Clay. That's definitely it.
Okay. So we'll see if we can get this thing. I'm still echoing.
Is that better?
Let's see here. Can I still hear me? I can still hear me. So we'll have you go out and come back in, and we'll go on break here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. Stay with us.
Here's a message from Renee from Bryan's Landing, located on 6523 East Seneca Turnpike in Jamesville, New York. Open Tuesdays and Wednesdays for dinner, Thursday through Saturday for lunch and dinner, and Sundays for brunch.
It's a lot like the way that my mom and dad ran their restaurant. We have put in place a lot of people that are family to us, very similar to how my dad hired people that were family to him. And then the tradition I'm carrying on is a lot of the items that are on our menu are my dad's. And he taught our chefs how to recreate his dishes. So I think that Tommy McInerney, who our executive chef is, to him it is an art. And I think that when he does create a dish, it's not just about making the food taste delicious, which is definitely our priority, but it's an art to him, and it's almost like his canvas on a plate where he just wants the colors to look great, and people love it because he takes pride in that. And Brian and I appreciate that. We want it to obviously look good and taste good. I will tell you, when we opened up, it was 6 weeks before COVID. And what was amazing was the community, our friends and family stepped up, and everybody did takeout. Everybody supported us. Our hearts were just so filled. So to Brian and I, obviously our friends come all the time, and we just have repeat customers. And Jamesville and I think people going to our previous restaurant in Green Lakes are making the trip to come to Bryan's Landing to support us. And I mean, I think we have great food and a great atmosphere. So it's very, very important to us.
Head to Bryan's Landing, located on 6523 East Seneca Turnpike in Jamesville, New York, where memories have become recipes that are now meals to share with you. Tuesdays and Wednesdays for dinner, Thursday through Saturday for lunch and dinner, and on Sundays for brunch. And be sure to come out for live music Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Life gets busy, and sometimes that means us running around. So K9 Camp Dog Daycare offers you an opportunity to give your dog a place to stay while you take care of what you need to throughout the day. K9 Camp Dog Daycare is located on 228 Old Bridge Street in East Syracuse, New York. You can see it from the highway, and it's just off of Erie Boulevard across from BJ's Wholesale Club. Call 315-437-7110. That's 315-437-7110 to schedule an appointment to bring your dog in and tour the facility. Appointments are Monday through Thursday after 6:30, where you and your dog can see everything that K9 Camp Dog Daycare has to offer, including a self-serve dog wash and a retail store filled with all of your dog's wants and needs, including food, treats, harnesses, leashes, and more, making K9 Camp Dog Daycare your one-stop shop for your furry loving friend. Right, Lily?
And a welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. Great Lakes Honda City coming to you on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Open Monday through Saturday for sales and service. You could find your way over to Great Lakes Honda City today, and you can get a sneak peek of everything they have to offer by going to greatlakeshondacity.com. Okay, so we believe that we are set and ready to go here with Mr. Clay Gagen-Sherman. Let's see if we can sneak him on to the broadcast this morning on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets life. So there he is, picture in picture. We got Clay. We're not echoing anymore, so we're good to go. Clay Gagen-Sherman here with us, Bobcat Buzz, here with the head coach of the Bryant Stratton College of Syracuse men's basketball program, starting off the 2025-26 season. As I said, I've known Clay for a long time. He came out to a show I did with Coach Q when Coach was the women's basketball head coach at Syracuse University. Speaking of Q, I got to meet him, and at that point, his father-in-law to be, Kevin Gagen, and then we kept in touch. He said, I'm starting this women's basketball program at Bryant Stratton, and we started talking. We started doing interviews all throughout his time starting that program, the years he spent with that program, the success that he had with that program, and then coming over to the men's basketball side, becoming their second ever head coach after Danny Frisina, and having national success, being the number one seed in America in the USCAA Division I national tournament in Buffalo last year, and now he is back to start off this season. Clay Gagen-Sherman, how we doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks for the intro, Dan. And yeah, it's definitely kind of crazy. It's going into year 7 at Bryant Stratton, so time definitely flies.
Yeah, and now an assistant athletic director. So how's that life been?
It's been good. Just, working with all the coaches, making sure I'm doing anything I can to assist them and help them with their process as they manage their seasons. But we got a great team in place, and, the structure's like taken care of right now. So everybody's kind of up and running, and, obviously soccer's getting ready for nationals, getting ready to go down there and take care of business. And then basketball starting up, and our baseball team had some fall ball, and I know he's got his team here and he's doing some recruiting for the springs. So things are going well.
Yeah, and having that double duty, I mean, what's that experience been like for you to, step into a world where you've never done this before, right? When you've been a head coach, you've been a head coach, but you've never had a season where you were head coach and assistant AD. So what's that dynamic been like with running your program and then also assisting all of the other programs?
Yeah, it's it's busy, obviously. In the past it's just been, for the most part, solely focusing on my program and what needs to be done on the men's basketball side of things. And obviously now it's I kind of focus on the other programs first, make sure I'm doing my duties to assist there, and then getting to the basketball side of things. So it's required a little bit more planning and time management to make sure, obviously, the other programs are taken care of, but we're not forgetting about our program and continuing to elevate the program. But, it's been good. It's been fun, and really just, like I said, we got a great crew in place in terms of coaches, and just doing the little bit I can to share the knowledge I've gained over the years to help them out as they build their programs up.
Yeah, and, and also you talk about being an assistant AD, working with the athletic director at Bryant Stratton College of Syracuse, Brooke Parro. So you have that work you're doing, being a head coach of this men's basketball team that's been in the national spotlight, and you've had a lot of success there. And since the last time we talked, I believe you've added 7 children to your life. So, Clay is now the father of 3. And so it's like, it's crazy. I mean, it's like you have Cleo, and then it's like a bullet train to be where you are right now. It was like, baby, little bit of time, we're pregnant again. And then it was like, as soon as little man came out, it's like, we're having another baby. So Clay Gagen-Sherman, what is it like to now be going into a season and being here? Not only are we assistant AD and a head coach at Bryant Stratton College of Syracuse for men's basketball, but you are now a father of 3.
Yeah, like I said, busy, definitely busy. Not a lot of downtime, but it's the best thing in the world. And, we feel complete, and I'm just really thankful and grateful for my wife that she's doing everything on, the home side of things to make sure everyone's taken care of, and just doing everything I can to support everyone. And obviously, life's great. Couldn't ask for anything more. So just really grateful.
How many hours do you sleep a day?
I don't know, not enough. No, I've just accepted the fact I'm always tired. So
yeah, well,
much as possible, but
yeah, join the club, man. It's like I don't have I don't have a wife or kids, and I think that, what was it, last week or the week before? No, it was a week before. I slept 3.5 hours in 2 days. So I definitely, I can understand the sleep side of things. I haven't experienced the other side of things so far, but you have, like you said, a full plate, a lot of love. Like you said, you wouldn't have it any other way. To have that, right? Because you're a young person in society, and you have this wonderful leadership role. You get to coach a sport that you love, and at the same time, you get to raise kids and have your wife, who I know is extremely supportive and awesome and always takes the better car than you. And so, I mean, when you have this awesome family that is within the Bobcat world, and then your family at home, just how full of life. I mean, God has blessed you, man. So how full of life is it for you to, I know you're competitive, I know you want to win, and at the same time, it's like no matter what happens, you have an awesome group of guys on this team, and you also have an awesome family at home.
Yeah, just like you said, I just feel really grateful, and no matter what, like I got the best family in the world. So win, loss, draw, success, failure, I'm gonna be all right. And I guess kind of how I tie the two together, family and leading my team is, I try to bring them in so the young men in my program can see what I got going on in my life and kind of lead by example and show them, how to be a good father, a good husband, a good person, and hopefully, that rubs off on them and, inspires them to do the same with their lives. And again, we have an amazing group of guys in our program, and, they got to meet Zoe at the first game the other day, our captain, Dallas, of course, the biggest smile in the world. He got to see all three of the kids, and he got a high five from Cleo and Max both, so that was pretty cool. And Nolan also got a surprise leg hug from Max. I'm pretty sure he thought Nolan was me, but that made Nolan's day. But it's just both of those worlds come together, and it's my family, and the team's an extension of the family. So just really blessed and grateful for everything.
Yeah, and I can say from experiencing this in the beginning that I got a Cleo high five, then I got a Cleo nothing for a very long time, and then I got another Cleo high five. And I don't know why there was such a in between, but you always want another one. And so I think when you get the leg hug, or you get the look or something like that, you appreciate it. So what I'll say to the guys on the team is appreciate the love you get from Clay and Kate's children, because sometimes it goes away for a minute. So I don't know what I did to Cleo, but she looked at me one time and I was like, high five. And she was like, no. And I was like, all right, well, do you. But so they definitely got some spunk, which they also get from Clay. So you had this first game, you got to start off the season, and you got a victory. Beautiful way to start off any season. And here in 2025-26, just a couple days ago, you got to get that victory and see the men get back to the winning side of things. Last season, #1 team in the national tournament, and then there was adversity. So I'm sure for you, because those moments feel like yesterday, that it was great to see your team come out and get a win immediately in their first chance.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just nationals was the starting point for this season. And, everything we're emphasizing is a lesson we got from nationals last year. And it starts with just building the gel and the chemistry of the team and being a team and getting everyone all in. And that's, of course, a process. And as roles develop, guys got to buy in. And, that's, like I said, it started with last year at nationals. A lot of those things, a lot of those little details that we didn't focus on throughout the year, they came out when the spotlight was on us. And this year, it's our focal point. And coming into the first game, I think we've done a good job as the team, our leadership group, our coaching staff, focusing on those details. And in our first game, we saw a lot of great things, and also a lot of things that we have to address. Today's our first day of practice since, But it's about constant growth as a team and focusing on the main things, the most important things. And sometimes those are the little things like body language and running to a timeout and not walking off the court and getting back on defense. So a good win, a good result, a lot of good things. We had a 20-point first half lead. Then they went on a run. They actually cut it to 6, and then some newcomers that are part of our second unit hit some big shots, stayed composed, got the lead back out to 15. So that was really exciting to see. But obviously, you don't want to give away a 20-point lead and make it a 2-possession game. So a lot of things to learn from that game, but excited about the response we had. And again, our leadership group is phenomenal. The talent is through the roof this season, and the expectations are really high. And as a team, we're just focusing on getting better one day at a time and keeping the main thing, and that's just becoming a team.
Yeah, and when you look at guys returning, right, when you look at the Dallases and the Davids and the Jordans and so on and so forth, I mean, when you have the returnees that you have, and you have, those guys that, like you said, this season started in nationals last year, and that carries over, and Keyshawn and so on and so forth. I mean, when you look at your team and you look at the guys that have been through the trenches already with you, what can you say to how they have attacked the initial part of the season?
Yeah, they experienced it. I mean, we felt the same pain. We felt the same excitement with the big wins, but we felt, the disappointment at the end of the season last year. They felt that, and you could tell coming into this year, it's a fire, like a fire that's lit us up to come into this season with a chip on our shoulder. We know we're better than that, and we get the whole season to prove it this year. And I think they've done a great job just setting the tone coming into the season every day at practice. They've done a really good job just bringing the energy and just being an extension of the coaching staff. As we emphasize these things, they emphasize those things. They buy into what we're trying to do, and the rest of the guys fall in line. So, really excited about the returning class and the leadership group we have. And again, last year's nationals taught us a lot, and that's been our talking point day in and day out as a team.
Yeah, and when you've developed in your leadership, right? You developed how you talk to these guys, just what you say, how you say it. When you've been going through just, looking at yourself and how you attack the day as a leader, what have you learned about yourself, and how has the way that you present your message, the way that you lead, the way that you talk, what you say, how has that grown, developed, evolved in what because you see things, right, as a coach, as a leader, that work, and you see things that maybe don't. You see, like, okay, maybe I should have said a little bit more here. Maybe I should have pulled back for a second here. So what have you learned about yourself leadership-wise when it comes to this team?
Yeah, I think I saw a quote, probably at this point, a couple months ago that really stuck with me, and it's culture is something you fight for every day, every single day, and every single detail matters every single day when it comes to your culture. And you can't let things slide. You can't, we'll get to that tomorrow. You have to attack it with intensity every single day, or else you start to lose that tone in the locker room. And I think for myself coming into this year, I've really kind of not beat a dead horse, but guys understand exactly what my expectation is when it comes to being a member of this team. And on an individual basis, I've spent more time meeting with guys, getting their perspective, so we're on the same page. And I think that's done us well so far, and I think that's going to be a plan moving forward to keep us connected as a team. But, it's culture is something you fight for every day. And every practice, every detail, every standard, you got to uphold that, or else you start to lose what you're trying to do.
Yeah, and I love that you said that, right? Culture is something you fight for every day. It's not something that you fight and then you feel like, okay, we're in a good place, and then you just say, okay, so that's done, so that let me go do something else. It's a constant thing for you. Why are you so passionate, right? Because we see people, like, in today's world, it's like, give it to me now. I deserve it now. I don't have to work for it. I just want it. And I'm not saying, your team, because I know your team is with, a bunch of guys that have worked very, very tirelessly. And even just to get to Bryant Stratton College of Syracuse was a journey through adversity for some. And so we do see a world, though, that doesn't want to work. And if it gets hard, they really don't want to do it. So when it's something you have to do every day, I talked to my mom about this yesterday. I said, I build these relationships and we go over years of this stuff. And I was talking to her about, someone I was dealing with work-wise. And I said, why would this person disrespect and kind of put me in this corner and kind of pigeonhole the stuff that I get to do? Like, I was with them from the beginning. Have they forgotten the people that were there for them along the way? And it's frustrating. But now you just kind of, gave me that kick of like, if culture is something that you build every day, sometimes you have to go back to those relationships and remind people and say like, hey, this is what we did together. This is how we got here. This is what we built. We can't go off of this. We have to keep moving in this direction. Sometimes you have to remind people of who you are, of what you do, of what you can do, of just the road to get to where you are. So what makes you fight? What makes you do it? Because you're having this conversation with me coming off of a day where I was really frustrated that I felt like I had to have a repeat conversation with somebody. But then you just talked about the fact that sometimes you have to rinse and repeat. Sometimes you have to do those things.
Yeah, I think the reason I'm so passionate is, it's my guys, it's my family, just back to my people. For the guys that I bring here, they trust in me to deliver on what I'm selling them, which is an elite student athlete experience, to be part of championship culture. For some guys, it's about going on to that next level. So it's about those guys, and also for this program, we're an underdog. We're a small college. I want to build a household name. Like I want Syracuse, Lemoyne. I know those coaches. I talk to those coaches, but I want those coaches to desire to play us in scrimmages. I want them to respect what we're doing and see us as a valuable, opponent within the community, where they say, all right, that's a small college team. Let's play them. They're going to make us better. And also let's see who they have on their team. And maybe someone's going to get on our radar. And I want to be respected in this community as a household name, where we're the best small college basketball program in the country. We help guys play at higher levels, whether it's NCAA D2 or D1. We help guys go pro from a small college basketball program. We're a part of the community, and we graduate our students. So, I want to. My passion in this profession at Bryant Stratton is my guys and helping them become successful in whichever avenue they want to be out of here. And then obviously, I want to make my family proud. I want to build a legacy that my kids can follow, and they, no matter where I am, whether I'm here or wherever, they meet someone that knew me, and because of that person's looking out for them. And that's really important to me and my family. So, that's definitely have a big why in this profession and what I'm doing. And, obviously my family behind me.
Clay Gagen-Sherman here with us, Bryant Stratton College of Syracuse men's basketball head coach, and speaking on his why. And I love the things that you said, that you made a statement within all of this. We graduate our players, the things that you care about, the things that you focus on. And I've had the opportunity to be around these guys. I've had the opportunity to, breathe the air with them, sit on the bus, travel with them, be with them at practice, be with them at walkthroughs, be with them in the game, be on the sideline. Like, you allowed me the opportunity to really live this Bryant Stratton College life when it comes to this Syracuse men's basketball team. So I've gotten to see their personalities, see the ups and downs, get to know who they are and why they are. When you look up and down this roster, and I'm not saying like, who's playing the most or who's not. I'm saying when you look at the sideline and you just look at all the faces that are sitting there, what do you see in these young men?
I see connection. I think from last year to this year, one of the big differences is the connection in the locker room is much stronger, and you can see it whether you go to the CAF During dining hall hours, the team's eating together. You see guys walking around campus in bigger groups. I think so. It's kind of been a debate with the team from this year to last year. A lot of guys say last year's team had more talent. I think this year's team's a little more talented, but no one on the returning roster has said that last year's team was more connected. Every single one of them has said a strength of this team is we have better chemistry. So, and for us as a coaching staff and as a returning group, that was a big goal of ours. And obviously it's still early, but it's a great sign that we're heading in the right direction. But yeah, when I look at this team, I see connection, I see hunger, I see guys that are here that understand what we're trying to do and want to help us get to that next level, and want to do well for their teammates and well for themselves. And I see a team.
Yeah, and I love that. I love the fact that there is that connection and that camaraderie. And I think, and you and I have experienced this, we've seen it, there are teams that you've had that are very talented, but they didn't have the cohesion, they didn't have the community, they didn't have the love for my brother, and I got his back, I want to see him eat. There wasn't the same connection there, and I feel like we saw that was a part of last year. But I think you and I and X and Nolan, and we all know that there had to be more of that. And
Yeah, and I think to that point, something I've said to the guys quite a bit this year is I care about our standards more than I care about your talent. And I think that just kind of lays it out there pretty direct. But I care about our standards more than I care about talent, because our standards are going to take us to the finish line. Our talent's going to fizzle out at some point. So
yeah, and I love that. And I think it speaks a lot to it, right? Because you got a really talented player that isn't good for the culture, then, that's not a place for him. This is a team that has aspirations to make sure that these are strong young men that can handle life and that can give to others in society. It's not about simply winning championships. It's about making sure that you help them be developed to a point where, just like a dad, where they can leave and you feel like they're better off, they're strong, they're ready for the world. So what does that element mean to you? The being a dad or an older brother, or however you want to call it, an uncle, but the fact that you are helping develop these young men to a place where you can take a step back, see them walk into the world and be like, they're ready.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting you asked that, because obviously last year my two guys, Shamari Baskerville and Darren Joyner, they both graduated, and those were the two guys that have been with me all the way through. So kind of my first group of like true guys that stayed the course, stayed with us, and graduated, which can be a little unusual now to have guys in your program for three plus years.
Yeah.
But they graduated, and then they actually came up here in September for a tryout and to see them and just kind of reminisce. It's a reminder that time really does fly, and there's a next chapter for these guys. And it's just as a coach, it's an emphasis to continue to develop them, because once they leave, they need to be prepared for that next chapter, and to stay in touch with them. And when they're Shamari's brothers and a freshman in the program now, so we got our gear the other day, and he called Shamari to show it off and stuff, and we got the new facility, and they came up, they got to see the growth of the program. But those relationships mean everything to me. And if Darren Joyner calls me, there's about maybe a half a ring before I pick it up, because that's my guy for life. Shamari's my guy for life. And to see them become successful would bring me the most happiness that anything could bring, because I care about them deeply.
And how does that spirit, essence of leadership, of everything that they put heart and soul into this program, Shamari Baskerville and Darren Joyner, for everything that they've given, they're not physically on the court because they've moved on and they're continuing their next chapter, but how does their essence stay present in your practice, in your film study, in your workouts, and in the game?
It's the legacy they left. I mean, we tell the stories. We got 3 years of stories to share with the team, and those are the founding fathers of the program that established the success here, that led us to 3 national tournaments, that led us to a #1 seed, that graduated with a bachelor's and an associate's degree. And again, they did things phenomenal, and they also learned through mistakes, and we can share those with our guys so they can learn through their journeys. But just sharing the stories and making sure that #4 and #5 are never forgotten within the program. And it makes it easy when you got a young brother that's a freshman in the program to reflect on his brother's time here and to learn from it. And Darren's brother's 16 years old and one of the best players in the PSAL, so in a couple of years we might have another joiner in Syracuse. So
yeah, and I love that. I love that there's that continuation of that family. So final note, we're 1 game in. It's a long season, 2025-26, but would love to just get your final word here coming out of that first game with a victory, just what you want people to know about these Bobcats as the men's basketball team fully is inside of this 2025-26 season.
Yeah, I would say, we got a lot of work in front of us. We have big expectations. We're competing for something that we've never done before. And, last year we displayed that we have the ability to play at a high level throughout the regular season and be regarded as one of the best teams in the country and to get the nationals. And obviously, the goal for this team is not just to get there this year, but once we are there, we are ready for whatever is thrown in front of us to overcome it and make a legitimate run for a national championship. And, the way we do that is about the standards we put in place and, the belief and buy-in to those standards. And that's what we're emphasizing throughout the season. And again, if we had a theme, I guess, for this year, it would be called The Standard. And, very excited about this group. We got a phenomenal leadership group. We got a lot of talented newcomers. And, our next game's on November 12th at Monroe Rochester against a very good junior college team that has a hostile environment and a lot of talent, and they beat us the last 2 years in a row. So this one's a big one for us as we prepare the next 9 days.
That coming here from Clay Gagen-Sherman as we step into this 2025-26 season fully. We want you to support these Bobcats, and it has been my mission as well and my vision, by the grace of God, that I had the opportunity and have the opportunity to work with Bryant Stratton College of Syracuse to continue to tell you these stories of the coaches, student athletes, administration, and alumni so that we are that household name. I wear my Bobcat proud, and those that know me know that I pretty much, this point, don't go anywhere without my Bobcat book bag that has my number 21 on it. So much love and respect to you, Clay, and to X and to Nolan, everybody with the team, and of course, those student athletes. I respect you. And hey, Jordan, your sister outscored an entire team in her first game. So let's see what you got, JL, for sure.
Sure. Go Bobcats. Appreciate you, Dan.
Thank you, Clay. I'll talk with you soon.
Bye.
See you. That coming from Clay Gagen-Sherman one more time here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. Cannot thank you enough for being a part of the show and giving me the opportunity to share these stories with you, to make sure that these Bobcats are household names for you. And I mean, when it comes to Bryant Stratton College of Syracuse, Binghamton University, Onondaga Community College, we're not just working with places, we're working with places that should have the spotlight. And the stories are incredible. I am constantly moved by coaches' conversations that I've had. I'm moved by the student athletes, by the administration, by who these people are. And Bryant Stratton College of Syracuse, it has been an amazing 3+ years. I would like to think that we're like in the intro, we're in the preface, we're in the epilogue of this story, so to speak. And I can't wait to see what we're going to do next together, how we're going to build together, because I love these kids and I love these coaches. And I absolutely have loved my experience and my time with Brooke Parro and Mary Hawkins, and just seeing the development and it's the people, it's the souls. I mean, you want to be around people that you really genuinely root for. And there's so many people at Bryant Stratton College of Syracuse that are easy to root for. So make sure you go and you support men's and women's soccer, men's and women's basketball, baseball. And if you're looking to have a new chapter in your life or to expand on something, to go to college for the first time, whatever it may be, Bryant Stratton College of Syracuse provides opportunities to many different fields. And, you know, we've talked on the show before about having an almost 100% job placement in certain fields that they have there as well. And just seeing the wonderful just progression of this college, of this institution. So, you know, being a Bobcat is something special, and I want y'all to experience that. So make sure you go to our website, wakeupcalldt.com, and you could go to the exclusive partners tab, click on Bryant Stratton College of Syracuse, which is on there as BSC Syracuse. Click on it, and you can get the website for the academic side, and you can get the website for the athletic side. If you have an interest, then you definitely have a place to go, and the information is right in front of you. We make it very accessible. So, Bryant Stratton College of Syracuse, much love. I appreciate you. Thank you for making me an honorary Bobcat, and we have just begun. We'll take a step aside for a fast break. When we come back, I know some of y'all have been waiting patiently for our all-new Bearcat Breakroom, and that's coming up with Sydney Leitner right after this fast break on Wake Up Call, where sports meets life. Stay with us.
This is Jim Dispenza, owner of Game Point Sports Complex. You hear the same story across any sport that kids play and any sport that adults play. There's never enough places to play. That was definitely true with volleyball, definitely true with basketball. Could be cheerleading, it could be field hockey, which is what we're seeing now. Every sport has a lack of places to play, and I think Syracuse in particular is a place where it's really bad. Despite the fact that we've got a lot of athletic talent around here, we just seem to have not enough places for people to play, and they're going to different places. They're going to Rochester, they're going to, Buffalo. They're going all different places because we don't have a place here, and I felt like that should change. This was a long project from planning all the way through execution to opening the doors. A lot of work went into it, obviously, a lot of money, a lot of resources, and the dream always was kids being in the gym, having a good time. And I've always felt like sports is the most unfiltered joy that you can observe with people, that people can experience, because it is fun, it is a sense of accomplishment, it's all of that wrapped into one thing. And so watching kids going up and down the court with big smiles on their faces has been just amazing experience. I'm looking forward to years to come of that same thing. We've taken the time to invest in multiple sports, and then what we're finding is the mere fact that we have a large, clean, well-lit space has opened a lot more doors for us beyond basketball, volleyball, pickleball. Now we're having some interest from cheerleading. We've got girls field hockey coming in, and then also there's quite a bit of room for spectators. We've got bleachers, we've got benches, we've got a concession lounge where people can get food and drinks. We're going to have multiple sports going at the same time, using every square inch of this place for what it was conceived for, which is basically people to come in, have a good time in the sport that they prefer. We manage each situation differently. Everybody has different ability to afford different things. Some are bringing 10, 15 people, some are just 2 people. I've had a lot of situations where it's a father shooting around with his son, it's a mother playing pickleball with her daughter or with her son, and in those situations come up and we work with people, and that's allowed us to have groups from 2 people up to 30 people and have some flexible pricing behind it. We're an organization that is here to work with the community any way we can, and I guess part of it is just making sure that we have the flexibility to put together a plan that makes sense regardless of the size of your group. So in order to book time, the best option is to go to our website, gamepointsports-syr.com. You can click from there and sign up for events, sign up for your own particular training, sign up for birthday parties, all of that.
Welcome here to a very special edition of the Bearcat Breakroom. I am happy to be here with you. I'm, of course, on the road It's been interesting here in my connection with Binghamton as we got everything set with Sydney Leitner. I was coming off of another Binghamton event, so that is why I am here dressed like I'm cold, because I am. So happy to be here with you and happy to be in this Bearcat Breakroom sharing some time with Sydney here in our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership with Binghamton University. And of course, on Wake Up Call, we are inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. And because I'm traveling, I'm literally inside my car from Great Lakes Honda City, which is my 2025 Honda CRV. Sydney, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very good. So doing a little light reading before we jumped into this. Sports was not originally your thing. So how did you get into the world of sports?
I was saying who snitched, but yeah, so I
David
truly
O'Brien.
was
I'm calling out the snitch. David.
so truthfully, I was never like really a conventional athlete growing up. I did taekwondo for like 11 years. I wasn't really good at the team sports. Not because didn't enjoy it, but it just wasn't ever really my talent. And as a kid, I was like, hey, I'm not doing well. It's not really fun. And I was much more inclined to like play the piano, paint, work on the sciences. Like I've always loved like biology and chemistry and stuff. But then when I got into high school, I was like, oh, like I want to start getting in shape, working on my health. So I joined CrossFit with my mom at the time. And she's a borderline pro triathlon athlete. Like she's incredible. But so she one day was like, you're doing track. And I was like, that's really funny. And until one day she goes, no, like pack your track bag, like you're going to practice, because she had signed me up and didn't tell me. So I started in December of 2019. I was a short distance hurdler. I was not any good at it, so please don't go find the mile split. And then the pandemic hit, and I was pretty close with some of the cross country runners on the team, and just from there started running a mile or 2, 3, 4, and working my way up with them because I really enjoyed their company.
So you go from not being into the sports world to mom saying, pack your track bag, I signed you up. What was that first track meet experience like for you when mom was like, guess what? This is what you're doing. Like, what was that like? What was going through your mind, body, spirit at that time?
Yeah, of course, when I feel like when a lot of people are signed up to do something, especially like by your parents, they didn't tell you. At first I was like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. But thankfully, like I did actually have some friends who were on the team, which made it a pretty easy adjustment to go and just kind of like hang out with them. My high school was never super serious about track, so it was nice, honestly, kind of a social hour.
So you go there, like you said, not really your thing. You shift into the cross country world. Was that a you decision? Was that like a, hey, I like elements of the track world, but I feel like this is a better fit for me? Like how did cross country become your choice?
It honestly was the people that drew me into it, and that's something that has continued to keep me in the sport. The people that I have met through cross country, like the 800-meter runners, the distance kids, the 10K runners, we all share such a fantastic mindset, and getting to know, I guess, that initial group who pulled me into distance, they became some of like my best friends. Like I still keep in touch with them, definitely not as much as I would like to, but they were just like such a fun bunch. And I was like, hey, I'm in the middle of a pandemic, like everything's shut down, I can't do martial arts, I'm not in school, like what else am I supposed to do? And running was like the perfect mix of like, I like the people who are getting me into it, and it's outside. Like it was one of the safest activities I could think to do at the time.
People that don't know cross country think like, oh, you just start running and then get to a finish line and it's done. Like they don't know the essence of it, everything that goes into it. So how would you describe cross country to somebody that's like, oh, anybody could do that, you could just take off and run?
I'm a believer in the fact that anybody can run, and I think kind of my story is a testament to that, right? Like I started as a joke and ended up falling in love with it. And I don't think you have to be objectively great or pro level to do it, right? Like it doesn't make you a runner. Getting out there and lacing up your shoes, that makes you a runner. If you never cross the finish line, like you are still a runner. And I think that racing cross country, I think with any other sport. It's just that atmosphere was so electric to take the training, which I already found fun, and turn it into a competitive, like rah-rah environment. That was really fun, and that's something that I even look forward to post-grad, like with the marathon, right? Like even not running pro times, but just being like seeing the videos of people uplifting each other. I think that is like one of the most special things that like keeps me going and like makes the sport so special.
Yeah, and I love what you did with what I had said, because I feel like there's more depth to simply just taking off and running, because there's the training of it, right? There's the endurance of it. Like when some people say, oh, you could just go run a 40, and it's like your whole body goes into a 40-yard dash. So like you could tear your ACL, you could pull a hamstring. So my point is kind of to the training of it, but I love how you took it, where you said if you lace up your shoes and even if you never finish, you're a runner. Like you can be a runner. So I love the beauty of what you said, and then to kind of piggyback off of what you said into the fact that it's I guess my point is it's not as simple as it looks in the sense of how much work you put in.
Yeah, I do consider it like a full-time job, especially at this level, especially in college, especially D1. Not necessarily in an obsessive aspect, but it is it's omnipresent in kind of all that I do every day. So it's intense. It's a full-time job, and they say do what you love. So
From not being into sports to, like you said, I'm joining it as a joke, to you're a Division I athlete. Like, that's incredible that you laced up your sneakers. Of course, you laced up your sneakers, you went out there, and you don't just become a D1 athlete. I mean, you live in a world of such a tiny percentage of the trillions of people that will touch this earth. So have you taken a moment to take a step back and go, this was never part of my original plan, and now here I am living in a world where I'm a Division I athlete. Like, I can tell my children, my grandchildren, like everyone that I come into contact with, like I got to be a part of this very tiny group of human beings. I mean, that's incredible.
yeah, I feel really fortunate to be in this position. That was something that actually my athletics director told kind of like my graduating class at our signing ceremony, like for all of us that were going to college for sports. And he was like, you are part of, I think it was like 0.01% of athletes who will ever go Division I. And I think that even almost 5 years later now, like that's something that is really so special to me. Like this wasn't the plan. I'm lucky to be where I'm at. And on the days where I really don't want to go lace up my shoes, it does kind of give me something greater than myself to be like, no, like I worked hard to be here. There are people who have worked really hard to be here. Like I am on a team. I'm part of something greater, something bigger. Like, go do it.
What I love about the Olympic sport world is I found that there's these unique, it's like, and you kind of already talked about it a little bit, but there's like a unique community of people that just rah-rah, they cheer each other on, they're excited for each other. I've gotten to be around like the swimming and diving world, cross country, track and field, and you fall in love with the atmosphere. So how would you describe being a part of Binghamton cross country and what that atmosphere is like?
It's fantastic. I mean, definitely, like, I've seen so much growth in the program over the last 4 years, and I think one of the most fantastically consistent things about it is that every girl has each other's back. We are each other's best friends. We definitely, like, will have, like, our one or two, right? But we are such a connected team that truly just wants the best for each other, right? Like, even if the team doesn't succeed or, like, achieve the goal that we wanted as a whole, we can still be happy for the person who PR'd, the person who had the race of their life, the person who fought through that mental battle. Like, I am calling these girls on my worst days. I am calling these girls on my best days. Like, they are my friends before they are my teammates. And I think that makes a fantastic, really, like, enduring, supportive culture.
How quickly did that happen, that these relationships just came together?
I think I bonded with the older girls pretty well from my side pretty easily as a freshman, if nothing else, just like from a role model or like an older sister perspective. And I think as I've gotten older, making that connection has come so much easier. Like I am living with two of the juniors on the team right now, and they are like my absolute best friends, like my bridesmaids, like those are my girls. And I think even as the freshman, I think I've become kind of that like older sister person that I looked up to so heavily when I was incoming, like as a freshman. So it's been nice, and it's been actually very thankfully easy to connect with these girls and make those special bonds.
What's it like to transition from the freshman looking up to the upperclassmen to being the upperclassmen that freshmen are looking up to?
It's a little bit pressure sometimes because I really did. I had such fantastic role models. I'm sure you know their names, but like Sophie, Aziza, EVT. I mean, I didn't share the team with Emily, but I mean, her presence has always been there. Carolyn Sheridan, like the list goes on and on. Liz, Cameron, right? I could go through the generations of athletes before me and give you a story about each one of them and how they've made me who I am. So to kind of now be in their shoes of like, those girls have helped instill my values, not just like in running, but in life. It's like, wow, I'm old. This is crazy. I feel like I'm still a freshman. And also it's just like, I want to do a good job. They were so impressionable in the best ways. And I want to be like them. You know, I want to have that same everlasting, like positive impression on the younger group of girls. I think that's really important to me.
Well, you know, and I love that, the pay it forward approach. And, you know, you talked about how they've helped you, not just when it comes to sports, when it comes to cross country, but in life in general. What have been some of the greatest lessons learned life-wise that you can connect to being a part of Binghamton cross country?
I think one of the strongest messages that I've kind of taken from not just the sport, but this team is that like we are whole people before we are athletes. I think that's something that gets overlooked, not just in life, but especially in Division I athletics, right? Like prioritizing your mental health, prioritizing your physical health, prioritizing your passions and your hobbies. Not only does that make us happier in the long run, but I think it also makes us better at our sport in this moment, right? I enjoy other things, so I can take that happiness back to the team and back to the sport and back to my training. And I think just truly like believing that like that is okay as a Division I athlete to take a step back from time to time, to not have your sport be, you know, the priority number one. Like that's okay. Because I know like the girls have shown me that like this team matters and this team is important and we put in the work not just for ourselves but each other. But if there's a day where, hey, you've got a test coming up, school's got to come first, I have to shorten my run by X miles, X minutes, that's okay. Because we want you healthy and we want you successful. And I think that's been really important and comforting for me to kind of like believe and take in.
Talking to you makes me want to be a part of the team. Like it's crazy. Like but that's cool. That's great because like it's passion, right? Like I live my passion, right? You know, like I'm a storyteller. So whether it's comedy or it's writing a song or it's, you know, working on broadcasting or screenwriting, whatever it may be, it starts with being a storyteller. And I love that. And I'm passionate about it. And I'll stay up all night doing it because I care about it. But I get that from you. Like it's like this child whimsy. Like you're a professional, you're out here doing your thing, but you also look like you're just so playfully happy with it that like I feed off of that. So if it was you recruiting me, I'd be like, yeah, okay, I'll run. So I'm like, just know that you give off that positive energy.
You're gonna stick me on recruiting duty even after my grad days. Coach is gonna have me come back.
That's right. That's right. So you said that you like things beyond the world of simply cross country. What are some of those hobbies?
So I mean, on top of being a runner and all that comes with that, I am a nursing student with Binghamton. I am an older sister. I still love painting and piano, so I definitely always go back to music, even if it's just sitting and listening, pulling out a good book. I love to read. As much as my younger brother doesn't text me back, I like to reach out to him and stay in touch with him. He's a freshman in college, so it's kind of nice to almost get flashbacks in a way. And then, I mean, I spend probably too much time, some of my friends would say, on school, and trying to do well on that. But in the same sense of running, I love what I do. I'm fortunate to be in Binghamton's nursing program. I've made some fantastic friends there, and I am excited to graduate in the spring and be a certified nurse, a registered nurse.
What made you want to get into the health profession of helping other people?
So my mom's been a nurse practitioner for God knows if I say the number of years, she'll be so mad because I'll give away her age. But she has been in it for quite a while, and just kind of growing up, it was always nice to have somebody who was both parents, just like present in the home, being role models. Like she worked 3 days a week. She worked per diem after my brother and I were born. And yeah, she's definitely had hard days, but it was always refreshing to have her come home and be like, I love what I do and I wouldn't trade it for the world. And realizing kind of my affinity for talking with others, working with others, being with others, and just kind of my love for the sciences, I knew that I wanted to be kind of in this realm. And I plan on going to grad school for PA school, but I knew at the very least I wanted to be a part of a field and a part of the jobs that allowed me to be in healthcare. So I knew I had to find a program that would let me kind of take hold of that opportunity.
So what is the hope? Is there a job, a place, something that is like, this is exactly where I want to be, or this is what I'm aspiring to do? Like, do you have a thought on that?
Yeah, I've definitely thought a couple years in the future. Again, plans can change. I'm open to anything, but I would like to go to PA school. That would be fantastic. I like kind of the operating room. I've been fortunate to shadow in a couple, and I really liked. I don't want to go to med school. I don't think my bank account and the loans could take that, so kudos to anybody who takes that on, but I will stick to the PA route. I also don't want to leave the bedside, which kind of gives me a nice balance of getting to see both worlds and do a little more in the operating stuff, which is definitely where I want to be. But place, I'm not picky. Specialty, I'm not picky. Again, the world is my oyster. It's not to be too cheesy, but yeah.
That's true. So let everybody know your birthplace, like where you're from.
I'm from Westchester, so I'm from Yorktown. I'm like 45 minutes, hour north of the city, depending on traffic. And honestly, I wouldn't move far. I love it there. I've got family in the area. But yeah, I mean, I'm young, so I'm not gonna stick myself somewhere.
There's no accent that I hear, which is interesting because many, I have had so many conversations with Binghamton University student athletes about New York versus New Jersey.
Yeah.
And who has the best bagel, who has the best food in general, who has the best places to go. So do you ever find yourself having playful conversations with upstate versus downstate, New York versus New Jersey?
Absolutely. So in the senior class, I am the only one who's not from Long Island. Everybody else, if I'm not mistaken, is from out east on Long Island. I am the only one from Westchester. So not only do I have to stand firm in the belief that like that I love Westchester bagels, but I will also draw the line that upstate is Poughkeepsie North. And they're like, no. Anything north of the city is upstate. I'm like, you just grouped the entirety of like actual continental New York as upstate. Like the Metro North goes all the way to Poughkeepsie, and I believe where the Metro North stops, upstate starts. And that is a hill that I will die on, and we've been having that banter, I think, since day one freshman year.
So what's the bagel spot and what's the order?
I am a bagel emporium girl. There are a couple spots throughout Westchester, so find one, a 10 out of 10 recommend. I'm not super crazy with my order. I am nothing classic. Unfortunately, I am vegetarian, so I can't do salmon. I used to, and now I can't, so that makes my heart very sad. But I am tomato, avocado, cheddar, and 2 scrambled eggs on a toasted sesame bagel, pre-race, post-long run. Any day I have extra time or extra cash on me, I'm going to Bagel Emporium.
Okay, I like it. I'm hungry, so that was a bad question for me to ask right now.
Sorry.
So, guy, what is your favorite, besides food and besides being with family, what is like your favorite thing to do when you're home?
Oh, goodness. Honestly, sightsee. I feel like Westchester definitely, like, especially where I'm at in northern Westchester, I've got really great access to cross over into Rockland County, go north into, like Putnam County, hiking. I can take a train that's 10 minutes away straight into the city, spend a day in the city. I have family on Long Island, so I like to travel outside of Westchester. But even
Yeah.
within, there's so many different towns, each with like a different vibe to them. So I'll go shopping in Chappaqua or Mount Kisco, or go down to White Plains, which is like a smaller city, for like dinner. So I like to kind of get out of the house and just kind of see. I like to do.
Do you drive, or do you prefer someone else to drive if it's close to the city?
I prefer to drive, and maybe that is a little bit neurotic of me, and I'm sure my passenger is not super thrilled if I'm being honest. However, I prefer to drive.
Yeah, I mean, I can agree with you because when you drive, you know that you're in control. So, like
And the
to
city
you,
is so unpredictable, so like it's
yes,
certainly not easy driving. Um, but yeah, no, I agree. It's definitely it'll throw you for a loop.
you have a sweet and clear theater voice. Does that change when you're driving in the city?
No, if anything, it gets worse.
I'm gonna say, do you have like road rage?
Am I allowed to admit that? Is that okay?
Yeah, you can admit that. Yeah.
Yes. My poor passenger, I usually try and give them earmuffs or at least a warning. Yes.
Okay.
Unfortunately,
So,
yeah.
so this very kind, like sweet voice
Changes.
will,
It
and
will
it,
change.
and it swears. Does it yell or does it swear or does it do both?
Unfortunately, you can ask my mom. She's been on the phone with me more times than I care to admit through the Apple CarPlay, and she'd be like, "What did the driver in front of you just do?" And yeah, I get my mouth from her for sure, for sure.
Yeah, my mom, same thing. She'll be
Yep.
like, I don't like talking to you when you're driving. And I said, why? And she's like, because you're always saying
Who's
stuff.
yelling?
And then I get in the car with her for 2 minutes and I look at her and I go, where do I get it from? Where?
I
Where could
wonder.
I possibly have gotten it from?
I
And she just
wonder.
looks at me and smiles. And then the next day when she's on the phone with me, she's like, why do you talk like this? And I'm like, Ma, we already handled this. Like, I'm
Yeah.
your child.
I'm your child. This is all you. Like, I love my dad. He's fantastic. I get all of my driving from my mom.
I do have to ask you this. You said your brother's a freshman in college. Where does he go?
He is currently studying chem engineering at Lehigh. So, Patriot
So
League.
he's at Lehigh. What's
Yeah.
his first name?
Dylan.
I was gonna guess that. I'm not even lying. Hand to God. I was
Really?
gonna guess that. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I do like that. God and I, we got it. We have a thing. I don't know what it is. So I was literally gonna go Dylan. So hi Dylan. I hope you're watching this. You need to text your sister. You have to answer your phone. She loves you, and you need to talk to her more. And I'm going to challenge you to tell her one nice positive thing a week about why you like her being your sister. So you, Dylan, need to text Sydney, and I'm going to be keeping tabs on you, Dylan, throughout the year, just so you know.
Well, now he's never going to text me. Now that's it. Now he's going to block me.
No, I'm going to be on him. So I will troll you, Dylan. We will find a way, but I can't troll you. Trolls are so vile. But I will check up on you, Dylan, from time to time. So let's play some rapid fire, Sydney.
Love
We can
rapid
ask
fire.
each other any topic,
hmm
any question, literally anything in the world. People all over the world are watching and listening, no pressure. So you can ask me the first question.
Where are you from?
I am from Syracuse, New York, born and raised, and I have lived in Scranton, Pennsylvania, Kissimmee, Florida, right outside of Orlando, and I chose to come back here. Happy I did. Got to see my grandmothers before they passed. Got to take care of my G-mama, my mom's mom, and I couldn't think of a better place to put my name on my business and to build from the city that had my back then and has my back now. So I got the best of both worlds. I get to be in my hometown and I get to literally travel the world. So I get to see everything and then come back here. Florida's my second hub. My third would probably be North Carolina. So I'm very spoiled. God has given me a very beautiful life, and I love the fact that I feel like I'm here, but then like I get to be everywhere, which is kind of cool.
That's awesome, and I'm sorry about your Gmail.
Thank you. Yeah, she's the best. Lived to be almost 101. So
Wow.
yeah, still the closest person to me. She's gonna be hard to top. I will say that.
I'm sure
My
grandmas are
question,
untouchable.
yeah, do you have grandparents that are still
I
here?
do. Yeah, I do. Thankfully, knock on wood, may they live forever.
Yes. And make sure that my best advice that I could ever give you is go and see them, give them a hug and a kiss, get to the door, turn around, run back, give them another hug and a kiss, tell them you love them a million times until they get annoyed with you, and don't leave before you run back from that door probably 3, 4, 5 times.
Deal.
So, what are their names?
My paternal grandmother is Barbara and Michael, and then my maternal side is Howard and Catherine.
Barbara, Michael, Howard, Catherine. Love up this girl. And Dylan, even if he doesn't call you back, but make
Don't
sure you
forget
love
about the
up
younger
these
brother.
kids. Yeah, make sure you love up these kids. And for you and Dylan, I don't have to tell you, but make sure you spend as much time as you possibly can. You're never going to regret the time you spend with your grandparents. So my question back to you is, what is your favorite thing to do with your grandparents?
I like to paint. My grandma and I will go to something called Muse Paint Bar in White Plains, that city I mentioned. And
Yeah.
now that I'm officially 21, we'll grab a drink and we'll paint and we'll just chit chat. It's a really nice way for us to do like a nice low key activity together.
I love that. What's the best thing that like you have painted her and she's painted? That's kind of like my 1B.
I painted, unfortunately, this wasn't a Muse Paint Bar and there's no way a reflection of any talent, but I did a paint by number of a water scene in Venice. She's always wanted to see Europe, and I figured that was the closest thing I could get, short of a $1,000 plane ticket. So I painted her that, and I believe I have it up in my room actually. It's a bumblebee and a flower that she recently painted. So she was like, I don't think anybody wants this. And I was like, no, like I want it, please. So I have that hanging on my wall up at school now.
And which grandma is this again?
That is Barbara, my dad's mom.
So keep painting with grandma. Barbara, love it. And I have my great uncle's painting. It's in my office. So I think it's really cool that you have that. So make sure that that travels with you. I don't have to tell you that, but I'm sure it will.
Everywhere I go.
Love it. What is your next question for me?
Have you ever owned any pets?
Yes, I have a daughter. Her name is Lily, and she is my kid. I am convinced that God put my daughter's soul in this baby, and she's the greatest. I don't understand how she's intelligent like she is, the love that she gives, and people get very jealous because she will lick your hand, she will lick your arm, she will lick your leg, but she will only lick my face.
Oh.
And so she attacked my face today, and I appreciate it. But no, she's just I don't like, if you saw her with me for the day and you were like, there's no way an animal can be the child of a human, and you saw her with me, you'd be like, but that one changed my mind. And yeah, I mean, it's cool. Like, I love our adventures, and she's my best friend. And I really think that, and I tell her this all the time, and I say this to God, I mean, I want to be a dad. I wanted to have a family my whole life. It's hard to find love in today's world. So it's hard to find a traditional family in today's world, but I believe in it still. And I tell her all the time, I'm like, if you're the only kid I ever get, then I got overblessed. So she's my ride or
What
die.
kind of a
And I
furry
keep
friend?
What'd you say?
What kind of furry friend? Like,
she's my dog. She's a Havanese. And so she is 10 pounds.
she's tiny.
Yes, she sits on my shoulder, and she has tried to drive around my neck like a scarf. And yeah, so she's very much like all up on my shoulders and stuff. And one day they weighed her, and normally they'll weigh her and it's like whatever point something. And then one day they weighed her to a 1/100th of a decimal point. I don't know why. And she was 10.21, which is my birthday.
No
So,
kidding.
Yeah.
Aw.
So, yeah, she's cool. She's awesome. She's spoiled.
Yeah,
And
that should be.
I tell people all the time that I aspire to be the father that she treats me like. So, yeah.
That's
She
really
gives me more credit than I deserve. But thank you for that question. My question back to you. If you could have an all-inclusive, like your trip is paid for, it's like you won this trip, where would you want to go? You can take one person you know, and you could take one celebrity. So where do you go and who do you take?
Oh my gosh. Wow. I'd probably say Switzerland or Sweden. Both are gorgeous mountain countries from my understanding, and please, no geography nerd, check me on any of this. But
Yeah.
between hiking in the summer, lakes, skiing, food, culture, so enticing. I feel like I would be doing my brother a disservice if I didn't take him skiing with me in the Swiss Alps at least once as his sister. So I have to take him. Celebrity. Wow, I feel like I have to be like careful here. Who am I gonna take? I feel like I'm like 2 seconds from going through my Instagram list. Who am I gonna take with me? It might be like a classic move to say Zendaya. I mean, because she's everything anybody could ever want in life. But like, oh my gosh, who would I take? I'm like blanking on every celebrity I've ever known. I'm trying to think of a recent movie. Oh, I mean, Scarlett Johansson, I feel like you can't go wrong with either. I feel like both are very fun, presenting celebrities. So either one of them.
Okay, that's fair. Dylan, she just said she would take you on a trip. Text her back.
Or no
She
Swiss
wins
Alps. It's not
this.
happening.
I'm going to tell you this right now. When she wins and she texts you and you don't answer, she's going to have to take somebody else. And if she's taking Scarlett Johansson, then she's taking me because, hello. So, what is your final question for me?
My final question. If you could go anywhere in the world, you get 24 hours there, start to finish, somewhere you
Okay.
haven't gone, but you only get 24 hours, where are you going?
I am going to Spain to see my family.
Where are they in Spain?
I have a cousin. I don't know if he's still doing this, but he was the mayor of 2 cities by Madrid.
Wow.
So we're gonna go to Madrid, and I mean we're gonna go see them. So probably by there, and 24 hours with them, food, beach, dancing,
Yeah.
laughing, quality time. So yeah, I really want to go to Spain, and I think that I'm doing that soon. So.
Spain is fantastic. I've been to Barcelona once. It was awesome.
Okay, I guess this is not my question, but I have to ask you this. What can you tell me about Spain?
Very little. I think, unfortunately, I mean, I was there for roughly 4 days with one of my teammates, Austin. We were visiting an old teammate who was doing a semester abroad. I think the culture was so positive. I loved it. And as a woman who was training individually, like by herself, I felt very safe, which was very comforting and very nice to see. The food was fantastic. That relaxed, almost stereotypical European, like laissez-faire, it'll all get done way of life was amazing. The beaches were gorgeous. The club scene was so much fun. No offense, Binghamton, but it'll never compare to Barcelona. The views were stunning. We saw, I believe it's La Sagrada Familia, which was, again, just jaw-dropping. I spoke a little bit of Spanish in high school and middle school, so it was actually really fun to kind of get to use that knowledge base again. I had a blast and would love to go back for a longer period of time. It was awesome.
I love how you said I could tell you a little bit, and then everything you told me, I'm like, wow, that's amazing. So, Yeah. I mean, now I want to go more, and
Got it.
every time I hear about Spain, I just want to go. So, shout out to Spain. I'm going to tag my family in this so they can see this. My final question for you, Sydney. If we were to create a dish that is the Sydney Leitner, it's like your meal, your thing. What is on that plate? What's your signature thing?
Oh my gosh. That's so not cool as somebody who likes to cook. That's not nice because I just actually pulled cookies out of the oven too. Oh my gosh. I mean, my favorite comfort food of all time is gonna have to go mac and cheese. I do broccoli mac and cheese sometimes, but I know that green element might ward people off. Probably bacon mac and cheese, sauteed green beans on the side. Grew up eating it. Comfort food, post long run food. If I'm ever arrested on a life sentence or on a death sentence, that is my final meal. That would probably be like, if I'm starting a culinary page, that is the first recipe I am putting up there.
Who made it for you the first time?
My mom.
Mom. Nice.
Mom.
So, and now you make it. So who's better, you or mom?
Dylan, I'm throwing you under the bus here. I'm gonna say me. I love my mom, but I have been a little bit more experimental with my spices, and I didn't tell my brother that I put in different spices, but he was like, "Wow, this is great." I was like, pat myself on the back for that one. So, mom makes it the way mom makes it, and that almost automatically puts her higher. But from an objective point of view, I'm gonna take the trophy on that one.
All right. Well, Ma, you heard it here first. And apparently Dylan was involved. So with that being said, for Sydney Leitner here, cross country, Binghamton University for these Bearcats. And honestly, one of my favorite positive, lighthearted, genuine conversations. Sydney, you get a second trophy for being an awesome guest. So thank you for your time today.
Thank you for being such a fantastic host. I had a great time.
And now a message from Myers Creek Brewing Company, with locations at their Cazenovia Farm Brewery, Syracuse Inner Harbor Tap Room, and soon-to-be Lake Placid Tap Room.
Well, I think first and foremost, the Feldmeyer family and our team are extremely passionate about what we do. We care very much about what we do. The Feldmeyer family is always investing. Our taproom management team, our brew management team, our marketing management team, and all of the team members that get after it every day, they leave it on the field. They put their heart and soul into it. I know for a fact that everyone that works at Myers Creek wants to be there, and we want them to be there. You know, we want them to feel good about their job. And again, if you've never been to Myers Creek, especially to the brewery, I mean, I want your eyes to open really big. I want you to see how big of a brand this is. I want you to see where we're going. The sky is the limit, and I feel very proud of that, and I'm very excited about that. When you think of designing a menu for a brewery, it's kind of open to a lot of different interpretations. I mean, you can do American, you can do Asian, you can do Italian, and you just have to find, you know, how that meets that pub style dining experience, that gastropub vibe. And I think it's super fun for us because obviously we know that, you know, everyone in the world's going to sell a pizza or a burger or a french fry, but what can we do to be different? And what can we do to be true to who we are? We are a brewery, you know, a brew pub. So the flavor profiles are kind of all over the place. And I think it's super cool that we have a massive smoker at the brewery in Cazenovia, and we smoke a lot of our products. We have a delicious smoked turkey. We have barbecue ribs on Sundays, from a pulled pork sandwich to a chicken wing. You go to the Inner Harbor and you go to the Kaz location and you'll find similarities in the menu, but also things that are a little different and also kind of fit those different demographics or different communities, and also hopefully just drive you to try every tap room that we have open at some point, because you get a little something different at each one. You know, we understand how hard it is to, you know, work every day and get after it every day, and when you're done at the end of your day, you want to go out and put your feet up in a good ambiance and good environment. So we take pride in that. We make sure that everyone knows that they're very much valued to us.
And a welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets life. We're inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios and we're happy to be here with you Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and pretty much right on schedule here for this edition of the Ingredients to Success, proudly presented by the wonderful team at Avicolli's. You can go and see them 7 days a week, and of course for lunch, dinner, and drinks. Of course, I do want to make mention here to drink responsibly and only if you're of age. They have a wonderful bar, wonderful fine dining side, and they have a casual side. It's literally having 2 restaurants and a bar in one. And when that nice weather has been here, we've been out on the patio as well. So there's so many different ways to experience Avicolli's, including catering, takeout, and delivery by calling 315-622-5100. That's 315-622-5100. You can also go to myavicollis.com. That's MyAvicollis.com. So make sure you do that too. It is now time for those Ingredients to Success, proudly presented by the wonderful team at Avicolli's. And today's topic, the passion. Do you have it? Do you have the passion for what you do? Do you get that chill? Do you get that feel when you really are doing that thing that you love? You know, that passion, that desire, that want to, that fight, that thing that makes you say, you know, I'm not a quitter. I'm not somebody. See, I don't like that word. That word makes me sick to my stomach. I don't like that word at all. You know, when I hear that word, I'm like, ugh, get that word out of my face. So, you know, when you really value something, when something really, really matters to you, you have that passion, that desire, that want to, that determination. And it's a beautiful, beautiful thing when you have it. And I talk to people all the time that have passion, that have desire, that have that want to. And to be frank, to be real, those are the people that, I mean, like, I'll talk to anybody. And we could talk about anything. Right? We could talk about anything. I love hearing when somebody's passionate about something. And when somebody's not passionate about something or they don't know how to kind of figure that out, I love having that conversation with them about figuring it out, about determining what is exciting for them, what they value, what matters to them. I want you all to have a passion. I want you all to have, you know, to find that thing in your life that you just really feel is special. Right? That thing that you're like, hey, I'm going after this. No matter what, no matter how long it takes, no matter what I have to do, I'm going after it. And I mean, because those are the things, that's the beauty of it, right? I don't want to be doing something that I'm not really I mean, there's something I just got to do, and I can't really talk about it. I could talk about it at some point, but I can't talk about it right now. And it's because of the nature of what it is. It's a beautiful thing. It's a positive thing. I just can't speak on it. And so, I mean, what I can say to kind of still be able to discuss it is, you know, I thought to myself, I'm like, this is something that I want to do. This is something outside of what I already do in my daily life that I'd like to add. It's another passion of mine. It's a dream of mine. It's an aspiration of mine. And I had the opportunity to do it. And I was just thinking about it today, actually, sitting here in the studio. I'm like, man, when I first got there, I was like, what's this going to, you know, you're kind of looking off and you're like, what's this going to be like? What are we doing? What are we using? Like, where are we going to be? And then, you know, after that, after you're there, and this is how I am in my life. It's, you have that first day jitter, right? That, not even a first day jitter, but, you know, a first day of like, I don't know the lay of the land. I don't know what's going on. I don't really know what to anticipate here. And then as soon as I'm in it, it's like it feels second nature. It feels normal. And then I like going to it. And that's when I know I have a passion for something, because the moment that I wasn't there, the moment that it was like, I don't have to go there today, that's not part of today's schedule, I just thought to myself, man, I miss it. Like, I want to be there. I like just standing there waiting for the opportunity to do this or do that, and to learning about it and getting to know people. And I like being around these people, and I'm building relationships, and I'm networking, and, this is really, really cool, and it's fun, and it's like in my veins, you know what I mean? And so that showed me that something that I thought, hey, I believe I'm interested in this. I think this is something that I want to do. When I actually got around it, it's like, nah, this is, this definitely is the thing that I would like to do. This is something that I absolutely want to work on. And that, when you find that, right, when you wonder, am I interested in this? Do I want to do it? And then you get to experience it, and you get to do it. You get to live it. You get to breathe it. You open the door and you're like, man, I want to do another one. I want to be around this. Like, I want to see this. I love the essence of it, the creation of it, the development of it, and it's in the entertainment world, and it's a really cool thing to get to do. But it's one of those things where I'm like, as much as I've worked on certain things, I didn't work on it like this. And again, it's the people. It's the positive nature of the people, the welcoming of the people, the lack of ego, the desire to learn and to grow and to say hello and to make a new acquaintance and build a new connection. And it's just been so much fun, and it's made me want to do more of it. And I can't wait to go back, and I'm excited to go back, and I'm looking forward to it. So it made me want to talk about passion today, because there's been different thoughts about it in my life, of doing this new thing, this dream that I've had for a long time, that I've kind of put in the background because I didn't really know what to do with it, because I don't want to live in this place or live in that place. So how can I do this? And then God brings it to your doorstep and is like, it's right here. And you're like, man, how could God do that? And God's like, I can do anything. You're out here chasing your dreams, and here you are. You want to do this, and you think it's here, and you're already doing this thing that is here. Well, you think you got to go there for this, and you're here for that. No. You could do it all here. And it's been a lot of fun, and it's made me hungry, and it makes me want to listen to God and say, okay, so do you want me to work on this now? Do you want me to set some time away for this? Is this something that's kind of developing and whatnot? And, and again, like, I know that I have a passion for something when I just feel it in my heart, when I miss it, when I'm not there. Because listen, I put a lot of hours into my life. I give a lot to my work. My work is part of me. You know what I mean? So like, I'm doing things all throughout the day. I'm up at 2:00 this morning, making sure that I have my videos up of my one-on-one conversations with Syracuse, and my Q&A with Adrian Autry after the game, my Q&A with Lavelle Sanders, and, making sure I have my Binghamton stuff up, that my story's up, that, everything is there. And part of me is like, man, it's 2:30 in the morning. Like, you need to go to bed. And the other part of me is like, I just want to make sure I got this done. Like, I'm excited to put it up. I'm looking forward to putting it up. I want to see it. I want to go listen back to it. I want to learn. And it's that fire, that tenacity, that desire, that want to, that's that passion. When it's 2:00 in the morning, 3:00 in the morning, when you're dog tired, when it's when there's a million things going on, and you just think to yourself, and this is how I know I do what I love, and I love what I do. Because in my personal life, I was hoping for something, and I didn't get what I wanted. And then like immediately after, in my professional life, I got a message that like, yeah, let's do an interview. And I was like, man, I don't even care about that other thing in my personal life, because I'm so jazzed that I got this interview. Like, I'm really excited that I get to do this. And it's like, that's the beautiful thing about when you're passionate about something, is that something that would normally get me, and it's also the evolution of you as a person, is that something that would normally get you down, you look at your phone and you're like, man, I got a no, but then I got a yes, and I love that yes, and I'm going to lean into the yes, and I'm going to let go of that no. I'm going to embrace the yes and not focus on the no, and I'm going to enjoy it, right? I'm not going to focus on the negativity. I'm not going to focus on the fact that that door's closed, that that's not an open opportunity for me. It doesn't mean that I'm a bad person. It doesn't mean I did anything wrong. Like I was talking to my best friend about last night, him and I were having a conversation, and again, in the middle of the night, it's probably 1 o'clock in the morning. And I said to him, this is how I've evolved as a person. When you have a conversation with somebody and then ultimately, you put your heart and soul into it, but it doesn't lead to what you wanted, I would say, well, man, I just wasted my time. Like that was a total waste of my time. What a waste of time. And I said, wait a minute, I didn't waste any time. I approached the situation. It was a first-time conversation. I gave all that I could. I opened my door. I was clear. I did things that I'd want somebody to do for me, and I didn't get what I wanted. So now that person has told me what's up and where it's at, that was not a waste. That was me opening up, being myself, putting myself out there. That's not a waste of time. But now that I know that this person isn't open, it's a waste of my time to do it again. So I'm not going to do it again. But I now look at things differently where I'm like, man, that initial conversation, what a waste of time because it didn't give me what I wanted. It's like, no. That initial conversation was you talking about who you are, them talking about where they are, where you're at in your life, where they're at in their life. And then when they turn around and be like, I'm not where you are and I don't want this, then you say, okay. I didn't waste my time because I put myself out there. I'm not auditioning for you. This isn't an audition. This is me. This is who I am. If you don't value me enough to take a shot on me, that's not a wasted time for me to put myself out there. It's a waste of my time to put myself out there to you again when you've already told me that I'm not worth it to you. So I didn't waste any time. But I will from here on forward if I get involved. And that's the evolution of a person, right? Is, you go where you go where you're valued and you do those things that matter to you, that you care about, and you push for the things that you have that passion for. Like if you have that passion, then you'll go after. What do I tell you all the time? You're going to realize, and this is with romance, this is with friendship, this is with your job, this is where you live, it's with everything. You realize in your life what you love and what you think you love. Because if you love it, you're going to stay passionate when it sucks, when it's hard, when it's difficult, when it's raining, when you don't feel good. You're going to keep going. But if you think you love it, you're not going to keep going. You're going to stop. You're going to do something else. There's a big difference between I love it and I think I love it. And man, if somebody hesitates with me, I'm out. You know what I mean? I'm not saying you can't think about it, but it's like, if you're the maybe, I just take that as a no. All right, cool. That's fine. Right? You're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. And see, I'm like, I love who I am, and I believe I'm funny, and I've made people laugh throughout my life, and I think I bring a lot to the table, and I have a strong faith in God, and I can talk about God, and I can talk about faith, and I can talk about family, and I feel like I bring so many good things to the table. Why wouldn't anybody want to sit with me? But the reality of it all is some people don't want to sit with you. I mean, my mom walked into a store one time when she was doing like resets for her job. She walks into this supermarket thing and whatever, and she could feel this woman like eyeing her up. And she went over to the woman and she was like, do we know each other? Like, I feel like, is there an issue? And the woman said to my mom, I don't know who you are. I've never seen you before. I don't know what it is, but I don't like you. And I'm not going to like you. Like, there's nothing you can say to change my mind. Think about that. If a total stranger can see you walk through the door, look at your face and go, I don't like that person. That is illogical. That is irrational. That is insane. But you can't change it. You're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. You can be attractive, funny, awesome, positive, faithful, kind, moral, intelligent. But if my mom can walk through a door and a stranger can look at her and go, I don't like your face. You know what I mean? So we spend so much of our time being like, man, everybody should like me. I'm a nice person. Everybody should like me. I'm kind. Everybody should like me. You know, like I do nice things. Some people don't like your face. Some people don't like your voice. Some people don't like that you remind them of somebody. Some people don't like that when they're around you, they feel bad about themselves because they see you going after it and they're not going after it. Some people, what do they say? Sometimes your spirit irritates their demons. When we wonder why people don't like us, it's because when they're around us, our spirit, our goodness irritates the bad inside of them, irritates the demon inside of them. You know? When you're like, man, why is that person so mean to me? They don't even know me. Do you know how many times I've dealt with that in my life? Do you know how many times I've dealt with people that have no idea who I am and they're not nice to me? And then years later, they're still not nice to me and they've never taken a chance to get to know who I am, what I'm about, and what I stand for. But the difference between me then and me now is I know how much time I wasted thinking about them. You know, well, she was pretty. Why was she so mean to me? Well, I thought we would have a good friendship. Why won't he talk to me? You're not everybody's cup of tea. So it's not about them. It's about you and God. It's about passion. You think I do this for you? I don't. And I don't mean that in a rude way. I do this for God. I do this because I want to get back to heaven. I believe that I can help this world by living out my passion, by telling a story, by bringing people together, by being positive, by asking questions. You think that people love me when I come out here and I make statements? You know, I've talked about it the last couple weeks, but I looked up a team and their schedule, and I found factual evidence. And the more I researched the team, the more my point was right. The more my hypothesis, in my opinion, is even more factual and even more just and even more true. And the more that I talked about it, the more that I put out there, when I put it all out there, I got hate mail, like probably the most hate mail I've ever gotten for something. And I stick by what I said. Have I adjusted to it a little bit? Yeah. But people weren't really listening to what I had to say because they weren't having a conversation. It's very easy to look at a post, flip out because it's not something you agree with, lose your mind, and not have a conversation with somebody about it. You know, we in today's world, all we do is monologue. Somebody writes something, we write something back. Somebody writes something, we write something back. But we're not really sitting and understanding and I mean, what, you know what I mean? It's like not everybody has the same experience. You can go to the same school with the same person, have the same lunch, have the same teachers, and have a different experience. You know, I love Syracuse. Somebody else who grew up here, they might think of Syracuse totally differently because of how they experienced it. Right? If a kid, or if you're a young person that's going to college right now and you look at all the construction, all the craziness, you're like, man, this is totally screwing up my ability to travel and do the things that I need to do, and it's messing with my college experience. But when I was in college, we didn't have any construction like that. I didn't go to school here, but you know, I traveled back and forth on 81 and I didn't have to deal with any of this stuff. I had to deal with construction, but not this. You know what I mean? So it's like growing up in Syracuse right now with the construction is different than being in Syracuse when I grew up. You know, it's a different experience. So you have to find what you're passionate about and you have to give it back to God. It's not about giving it to people. You know, I had somebody say to me a long time ago, they're like, Dan, you're in the entertainment industry. Don't you have to care about like what people think of you, and you have to make them happy and you have to give them what they want? Man, people don't know what they want. Okay? You know, people love this and they hate it the next day. If you go off of what the world wants, you're going to drive yourself insane. You're going to lose hair, you're going to lose sleep, you're going to lose time. And it's not worth it. You know what I mean? Like, caring about what other people think, it doesn't do anything for you. Because whether you care about what they think or you don't, you can't change it. You can't change it. You know, man, this person was so good to me for 20 years. And then I woke up one day and it was like they didn't appreciate me. They didn't respect me. They didn't care about what I was doing. You know, they didn't value me the same. Man, I've been the same person every day. I do the same thing. I come to work. I give it all I can. And now I don't feel appreciated like I used to feel appreciated. That's on them. You can have that conversation with them, but you got to find what you're passionate about, why you do what you do, what you love, and then go after it. Don't worry about other people. You know, if I thought about what other people thought about my career, I would have never had one. Sometimes the closest people to you will tell you, I don't know if you can do this. It's tough. It's between you and God. Remember what Mother Teresa said. So find what you're passionate about. Be willing to try things. And when you get that feeling inside of you, man, ride that wave. Love it. Because life is meant to be celebrated and lived. It's not meant to be you sitting on the sideline. And absolutely, life is not meant for you to be just mailing it in and settling. If you don't love your job, if you don't love that person you're dating, if you don't love the environment you're in, change it. Change it. We need to stop making excuses that it's his fault or her fault or their fault or this or that. It's the money, it's the this, it's the... You got one life to live. You can either live it making excuses or you can live it chasing your dreams. Now, I'm a dream chaser. If I'm going to die on a hill, I'm going to die on a hill where I gave it all to God and I took the gifts he gave me and I did something with it. I hope you do too. These have been the ingredients to success, proudly presented by the wonderful team at Avicolli's. We'll be back right after this on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. Stay with us.
Avicolli's restaurant, located on 7839 Oswego Road in Liverpool, New York, has been serving our community for decades. Your place to go for home cooking on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road is just minutes from Liverpool High School. And every single month, Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora is on site, on location, with Liverpool sports, student athletes, coaches, and administration telling their stories throughout the year. We look forward to seeing you on site at Avicolli's for their casual pizza side, their fine dining, as well as their bar. And of course, you can order online at myavicollis.com. That's myavicollis.com. For takeout, delivery, and catering, call 315-622-5100. That's 315-622-5100. Come on into the neighborhood spot Avicolli's, open 7 days a week in Liverpool, New York. K9 Campground Dog Boarding is your home away from home for your furry-loving friends. Open 7 days a week with drop-off and pickup times in the morning and later on in the day and early evening. K9 Campground Dog Boarding is the spot to trust with your dog for short and long-term stays. Call 315-299-4013 for more information. That's 315-299-4013, and go to k9campground.com as well. That's K9, ground.com, where you will find all of the information on their different cabins, which include the classic cabin, executive cabin, grand cabin, and luxury cabin. K9 Campground Dog Boarding, where your dog will have indoor and outdoor areas as well as their own private cabin for any size, any breed, as well as dogs with different needs. Dog parents and dogs alike choose K9 Campground Dog Boarding. Isn't that right, Lily? Looking for your next ride? Look no further than Great Lakes Honda City, located on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Serving our community for decades, their new and pre-owned vast array of vehicles are available to you Monday through Saturday on site. To search from home, shop at GreatLakesHondaCity.com. Call 315-365-5576 to set up an appointment. That's 315-365-5576 for Great Lakes Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Great cars, great people, Great Lakes. In these unique times, there are those in our community that give us a sense of normalcy and positivity. Pizza Man on 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville has been here for you for over 35 years and is here now. Call 315-638-1234 or order online at pizzamanbville.com to bring those familiar tastes into your home. And remember to come see our monthly on-site broadcasts centered around the community and our Baldwinsville Bees. Pizza Man in Baldwinsville. Any way you slice it, they're always here for you. Looking for your next ride? Look no further than Great Lakes Honda City, located on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Serving our community for decades, their new and pre-owned vast array of vehicles are available to you Monday through Saturday on site. To search from home, shop at GreatLakesHondaCity.com. Call 315-365-5576 to set up an appointment. That's 315-365-5576 for Great Lakes Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Great cars, great people, Great Lakes.
All right, you need to come out here and get yourself the Brooklyn Pickle. I was talking about this with one of my buddies. I was like, yo, there's no better sandwich in the state of New York than the Brooklyn Pickle. And now that I found out that they're going down to North Carolina, we are taking over your taste buds everywhere you are, wherever you're going to be. You need to get yourself out to the Brooklyn Pickle. Pinehurst, you just realized that you found yourself the best sandwich shop that you're ever going to have. This is a glorious moment. It's a blessing to your community. You're welcome. Brooklyn in the house, baby. Go over to the Brooklyn Pickle. You already know what it is.
You heard the man. Head to Brooklyn Pickle Pinehurst on 1788 Old Morgantown Road in Southern Pines, North Carolina.
Hi, this is Amy from Mother's Cupboard, home of the whole frittata. We are open daily 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. For takeout orders, call 315-432-0942 and tune in to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora for our monthly food challenge and try our Wake Up Call signature menu item available 7 days a week. Here at Mother's Cupboard, we are Central New York, and it's our honor to serve you.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory remind us that every day is worth celebrating at 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. Open Monday through Saturday in-store and always online at maandpaspopcorn.com. Serving our Central New York community and beyond, order anywhere, anytime at maandpaspopcorn.com. Stop in to get a tin at Ma and Pa's on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York to get your half-price refills for the rest of your life. Come to Ma and Pa's for your holiday gift giving for family, friends, employees, and clients. And remember, for fundraising and events, to call 315-450-6272. That's 315-450-6272. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you?
This is Jimmer Sikowski, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, right in front of the Home Depot. I had a deep feeling that God wanted me to do something bigger with my life and to help people, help others. I kept putting Chick-fil-A in my life, and I realized as I was going through the franchise selection process that positively impacting the lives of others was really core to what we do here at Chick-fil-A. First of all, it starts with the food. The food is brought in fresh daily. We bring in local produce. We prepare to order in the kitchen. We hand butter chicken. We hand spin our milkshakes. It's great food. It doesn't taste like fast food. I think the second thing is the way people feel when they come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant is different. We try to treat people with intentional kindness here, which is very different and deeper than good customer service. And so I think it feels remarkable for most people to come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And then lastly, the impact that we try to have in the community is very different. It's a big part of the expectation of every operator of a Chick-fil-A restaurant is that they're actively engaged in their community, they're a leader in the community, and they're making a difference. When they realize that what we're striving to do is to shine a little light in their life, that's a very, very different experience than you will have in any other quick service restaurant. And it's that remarkable experience that I think people will emotionally connect with.
Carvel DeWitt, it's what happy tastes like. Do you know why? Because we make ice cream. Creamy, rich, flavorful ice cream. Not yogurt or iced milk like some of our competitors. Ice cream. Fresh, by hand, daily. For the calorie conscious, we have something new for you. Our new Carvelite. Same great flavor, creaminess, and texture of our regular ice cream with only 35 calories an ounce. So whether you want an ice cream cake, flying saucer, dasher, carvalanche, hard or soft ice cream, we will satisfy your craving with our fresh, handmade regular or new Carvelite ice cream. Carvel DeWitt. It's what happy tastes like.
The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is located on 3680 Milton Avenue in the Home Depot Plaza. It is your family-friendly sports bar and restaurant. Folks, some sports bars aren't family-friendly. Some family-friendly restaurants are not sports bars. The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is proud to be both. It is that marriage that you've been looking for years. The Wildcat Sports Pub is your home base for your sports bar and restaurant needs, games for the kids, indoor and outdoor activities, and enough things on the menu to come back every single week and get to try something new. They're open Sundays from noon to 8 p.m., Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to midnight. For reservations and party information, call 315-487-2222 for the Wildcat family-friendly sports pub and restaurant.
GG Cards and Breaks. Like, comment, subscribe.
GG Cards and Breaks coming to you on 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York. They are open for wonderful opportunities to be a big kid. It doesn't matter what your age is. You go into GG Cards and Breaks, and first and foremost, I have to say this about what Josh Gideon's done. He has elevated it. I loved going into GG Cards and Breaks in the beginning, and there have been different iterations of it as it's consistently grown, added more product, have more display cases. It's truly amazing. If you go in there for the first time right now, today, you're going to be like, wow. If you've been in there for years, you're going to walk in there today and say, wow. So GG Cards and Breaks, you get to be a big kid. You get closer to the teams that you love. You get closer to the players that you love. You get closer to the trading card games that you love. Get in there today. Hockey, soccer, basketball, baseball, football, Disney Lorcana, Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon, One Piece. I can't say enough about it. I love it. I love the community. I love the people I've met through it. I love how we've come together and worked together in this community to build it. And I'm so happy that I grew up collecting cards wondering, is there a community? Are there a lot of people? And as I got older, I'm like, is that community tiny? What I've realized through GG Cards and Breaks and everything that they've done is that this community is live, it's thriving, it's real, and it consistently grows. So thank you to GG Cards and Breaks for not only doing what you do inside of your store and the awesome products you have, but thank you for growing this community of cards in the community that I love here in Central and Upstate New York. GG Cards and Breaks, 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York. We'll see you there. Tuesday through Saturday from 10 to 6, and on Sundays from 10 to 5. Big time shout out. Every time I look at this food, I get so hungry. So very hungry. Chick-fil-A DeWitt on the corner of Bridge Street and Erie Boulevard, and that pretzel cheddar club. It is, I mean, listen, you put anything on a pretzel bun, I'm interested. Let's have a conversation. That's how you sell it. So make sure, maybe that's what Syracuse needs to do with their quarterback. Be like, hey, this quarterback is going to be throwing pretzel cheddar club sandwiches into the stands and be like, all right, sign me up. That's the guy. So pretzel cheddar club, the original chicken sandwich, the spicy chicken sandwich, and the grilled chicken sandwich, all inside of a pretzel roll with bacon and all of the wonderful things that they have. The beauty of this pretzel cheddar club is at Chick-fil-A DeWitt. It's only there for a limited time. So go to the corner of Bridge and Erie today. You can't miss it. It's a giant brick building, double drive-through. Megan Sorber and her team are doing a wonderful job in our community, and it has been so busy there. So make sure you get there right now. Do it. It's a little bit past 11. Get there before everybody else and get your pretzel cheddar club the way you want it. Original, spicy, or grilled at Chick-fil-A DeWitt. With that being said, here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life, I want to thank you for tuning into the show today, up and down the East Coast, the Midwest, the West Coast, and all around the globe on YouTube.com and Facebook.com, both /Wake Up Call DT, as well as on wakeupcalldt.podbean.com, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. We appreciate you being here. And, of course, once we go live, we hop into the archive, Amazon Music, Audible, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts, Player FM, Podbean, Podchaser.com, Podvine, Spotify, TuneIn, and YouTube. All you got to do is search Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, or one word, Wake Up Call DT. Big time thanks to our incredible team in Central and Upstate New York, Great Lakes, Honda City, Carvel, DeWitt, the Wildcat Sports Pub, GG Cards and Breaks, Myers Creek with 2 locations, 33 Rippleton Road out in the country in Cazenovia with beautiful sights, and right by everything in the Syracuse Inner Harbor on 720 Van Rensselaer Street in Syracuse, New York. Big time thanks to the original Central New York Chick-fil-A. That is Chick-fil-A Cicero on 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, New York. Big time shout out to Jim Rusakowski, my brother, and his team. Pizza Man, Ma and Pa's, the snack capital of the world, Canine Camp Dog Daycare, Mother's Cupboard, Game Point Sports Complex, the place to go for individual and team play. And of course, you can train with Lazara Sims, Brandon Trish, Daewon Coleman. Find out more by following them on social media and by going to gamepointsports-syr.com today. And of course, many thanks to Chick-fil-A DeWitt that's down the road from Game Point Sports Complex, Canine Camp Ground Dog Boarding, Pizza Man, Brian's Landing, Avicolli's, and of course, we are the exclusive multimedia marketing partner of your Bryant Stratton College Bobcats of Syracuse. You'll find the Bobcats every single month. You got a double dose of the Bobcats today, and you will consistently find the Bobcats each month on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets life. Don't miss a moment with your Bobcats by coming right here to our broadcasts, and of course going to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell, find our BSC Syracuse playlist. The Bobcats are also on wakeupcalldt.com's homepage, and underneath the exclusive partners tab for more information, go to syracuse.bscbobcats.com. And go Bobcats. This is the beautiful time of the year where men's and women's soccer and men's and women's basketball are all competing at the same time. I love it. Support them. Shout out to all the coaches. God bless to Amani, to Clay, to David, to Ryan. Love what y'all are doing. Keep working hard. Thank you to all the student athletes. Can't wait to see what happens next. Shout out to Brooke. Shout out to Mary as well. The Binghamton University Bearcats are exclusive multimedia marketing partners with Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Find the Bearcats every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, featuring student athletes, coaches, administration, and alumni throughout the year, including today's story with the wonderful Sydney Leitner. And of course, under promise, over deliver. We gave you a special primer for the 2025-26 season with Lavelle Sanders that is timeless because we can keep going back to what he had to say about the team, the makeup, and his thoughts this season, as well as the journey and who he is as a person. So you can check that out on our social media as well as our YouTube channel. And of course, we had the opportunity to speak with Lavelle after the game and Demetrius Lilly, who led the team in scoring as well. So under promise, over deliver. More Bearcat break rooms than we told you were coming. Keep adding them on, and always happy to do that here on Wake Up Call on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell, find the Binghamton playlist. We love telling the stories of the Bearcats. They're also on wakeupcalldt.com's homepage, and underneath the exclusive partners tab for more information, go to binghamtonbearcats.com and go Bearcats. The Onondaga Community College Lasers, say it again for the people in the back, Lasers are right here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. They are our newest exclusive multimedia marketing partner, and OCC wants to hear from you. And we love hearing from them. So their next special will be Wednesday, November 12th at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Every other Wednesday, I'm joined by the Lasers, student athletes, coaches, and administration telling their stories. You can find all of our content with OCC by going to youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell. Find our OCC playlist. You can also find the Lasers by going to wakeupcalldt.com's homepage and underneath the exclusive partners tab for more information. Go to onondagalazers.com and go Lasers. Many thanks inside of MonPazPopcorn.com's What's Poppin' to my incredible guest today. Make sure you go to Mon Paz on 201 Old 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York to take all these wonderful taste buds and make sure that they are dancing and they are happy today. Many thanks to Amani Free, as well as Clay Gagen-Sherman, women's basketball head coach and men's basketball head coach, respectively, of the Bryant Stratton College Bobcats of Syracuse. Each program starting off the 2025-26 season with a victory, starting off 1-0. And many thanks to the Binghamton Bearcats and the wonderful Sydney Leitner joining us to tell her story of her journey and to bring positivity, passion, kindness, family, and just a wonderful, wonderful, heartfelt experience about the importance of the wonderful things in life like grandparents and a little brother, a sibling, and so on and so forth. So shout out to Sydney and to the Binghamton Bearcats women's cross country program, and many thanks to the Ingredients to Success from Avicolli's, and we'll be at Avicolli's next week with the champ himself, Bryce Mills, my little bro. So shout out to the Ingredients to Success, to Avicolli's. Go there 7 days a week. Lunch, dinner, and drinks, as well as takeout, delivery, and catering. Avicolli's, 7839 Oswego Road in Liverpool. 315-622-5100 to call for catering, delivery, and takeout. That's 315-622-5100. And, of course, you can go to myavicollis.com and you can order online. From the Great Lakes Honda City Studios, I'm going to tell you there's only one place I've gotten my car for over a decade. It is Great Lakes Honda City, the former Honda City of Liverpool, and I implore you to go there. I encourage you to go to Great Lakes Honda City on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard, Monday through Saturday, and you can get a sneak peek of their inventory by going to greatlakeshondacity.com. I cannot believe today's show is already over, but again, just like we talked about in the Ingredients to Success, proudly presented by Avicolli's, when you have a passion for something, it's beautiful. And, you know, they say time flies when you're having fun, and man, I have fun a lot here on Wake Up Call and with what I get to do for a living with Dan Tortora Broadcast Media. And I would only say to God that may time be slow as I enjoy the fact that he lets me live my dream every day, every single day. And not dream, dreams, because we got plenty of them and God provides. Thank you, Lord. I can't be grateful enough. I really can't. My gratitude, having an attitude of gratitude. I mean, you are the best. You are the king. You are the prince. You are everything to me. I love you dearly. I love the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit that makes up the God that I treasure more than anything in my life. Have a wonderful day, folks. Facebook at Wake Up Call DT, X at Call DT, Instagram at Wake Up Call _DT, and of course, as we always say here on Wake Up Call, God bless, no stress, do your best. Have a wonderful day. We'll talk soon. Stay safe.